Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Russia lodges protest over alleged settler assault on Russian diplomatic vehicle. Or Russia protests to Israel over alleged attack on diplomatic vehicle, or, as the Russians reported, Israeli settlers attacked Russian diplomats, according to Moscow. So these are the three articles we're going to discuss today. So what happened? Allegedly, some Russian diplomats, somewhere in the area controlled by Israel, because they said settlers, and I will explain what settler means, in a way, they were attacked by the settlers, by some civilians, aggressed by some civilians, and the military forces present did not intervene to stop the attack. Now, if this would have happened, let's say, in Germany, even though Germans are not settlers, Germans are citizens, let's say you have a diplomatic mission, some Israeli diplomats in Germany, let's say in Dortmund, right, or in Nuremberg, let's make it better, Nuremberg. So we are in Nuremberg, and they are in a car, they get out, and and the settlers, in this case the German citizens, come and attack them. And next to them, it's the Bundespolizei, the police, the German police. And the German police doesn't intervene. Even though they realize the numbers are diplomatic, the guys don't look German, you know what I mean? And all that, they don't intervene. And the settlers attack the Israeli poor diplomats. Now, how do you think this should be portrayed, and how will or would be portrayed? Should be portrayed like this: the diplomatic corps or whatever diplomats, Israeli diplomats in Germany, were attacked by some German civilians without the intervention of the police. The police did not intervene. The police did not do its job. And why would those German citizens attack the diplomatic mission of Israel? And then how it would be portrayed: anti-Semitism. It's a systemic problem in Germany, and not only in the society, still present, poor guys over there. Okay, so that's the two ways it would be reported. Now, why don't they report it that way in this case? Well, let's go to Zakarova first, and then we're going to go to the other guys who give a little slant to the whole issue. 5th of August 2025. Israeli settlers, not citizens, settlers, attacked Russian diplomats, Moscow. This is a statement of, this is what happened. It's not alleged. The Israeli military did not stop the attack despite being present at the scene, according to Foreign Ministry spokeswoman. So Zakarova claimed they did not intervene. And they also claimed that the Israeli settlers attacked. Now, is it true? I have no evidence, but this is what they say. A Russian diplomatic vehicle was attacked last week by Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank. That's why they're settlers and not citizens. Resulting in mechanical damage. How did they attack it? With what? Rocks, rifles? Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakarova said on Tuesday. She added that the Russian considers the incident a violation of the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations. They don't care. What are you going to do about it? Do something and they will react in self-defense. According to Zakarova, the incident occurred on July 30th near the illegal Israeli settlement of Givat Asaf, located just east of Ramallah and about 20 kilometers from North Jerusalem. She said the settlers also shouted threats at the diplomats. The spokeswoman slammed the Israeli military's failure to intervene, denouncing the incident particularly puzzling. No, it's not. That's common behavior. All right? Then I'm quoting, the Israeli Defense Forces soldiers didn't even bother to try to stop the attackers' aggressive actions. She said the vehicle was carrying members of Russian diplomatic mission to the Palestinian Authority, who are also accredited with Israeli Foreign Ministry, according to Moscow. So the vehicle was carrying members of Russian diplomatic mission to the Palestinian Authority. We regard this incident as a blatant violation of 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. They don't care. Last month, the Kremlin reiterated that only solution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict lies in the creation of a Palestinian state, alongside Israel. Remember, this is not that the Russians came out of their butts with. This is inscribed in the 1949 Declaration of Creating Israel. In 1948 it was created, but it was declared that there will be two states created, side by side, the Jewish state and the other one. All right? Well, the Jewish state is right there, and the other one is not. On the contrary, the other one is still incorporated in the... So what is this? So they don't give a shit as long as Washington, D.C. is their bitch. Got that? All right, let's move on. Now that you know, you can go away. And I'm quoting, Russia has always adhered to a two-state solution at the basis for resolving the Palestinian issue. Peskov said that, that's a problem. Moscow recognition dates back to 1988 when the Soviet Union endorsed the Palestinian Declaration of Independence. The state comes amid the ongoing Pakakatsa Makaraka. Now let's see how these guys look at it. The time of Israel. Russia lodges protest over alleged settler assault on Russian diplomatic vehicle. Moscow says vehicle from its mission was traveling near Givat Asaf outpost. It's an outpost in West Bank, which was attacked. Claims soldiers at scene did not intervene. All right, and this is what they said. And let's see what these guys. Reuters was not able to independently verify the Russian Foreign Ministry's report. Zakarova said the Russian embassy in Tel Aviv has to submit an official démarche to Israel authorities. There was no immediate comment from the Foreign Ministry. Okay, the report did not give further details. The policeman has spotted a group, the reservist policeman, singular, had spotted a group of masked suspects hurling rocks at cars that were struck in a jam on Route 60, close to the settlement of Pakapaka and the illegal outpost of Oz Zion. In response, the officer fired warning shots into the air. Moments later, the masked suspects began throwing stones at the police officer. He fired, hitting one of the suspects, the official says. What is this? The report did not give further. However, July border police officer shot a masked Israeli teenager who was among others throwing stones at cars on the road. Well, that's the common practice, I told you. So, we don't know what's going on, but this is what Reuters reports. Russia protests to Israel over alleged attack on diplomatic vehicles. You see, Reuters could be showing journalistic qualities, skills now, but when, let's say, Zelensky says something, it doesn't say Zelensky says that allegedly. No, Zelensky said it like the Russians. The Russians clearly say, Israeli settlers attack Russian diplomats. Not Moscow says that. But these guys say, no, alleged. That means some people say something. Did it happen? I have no idea it happened. Could it happen? 100% could happen. Why not? There are a lot of crazies everywhere. So, let's say it didn't happen. Why would the Russians do that? Is it because Israel agreed with their Jewish guy, what's his name, Zelensky, to do some cooperation in defense about 2 weeks ago? Is that why? Is it because Russia said that they are thinking of recognizing a Palestinian state? Is this why? I don't know. Is it because Russia fights Zelensky, Shmihal, Yermak, Reznikov, and others in Ukraine? I don't know. All right, my friends, what if that happens? What if that happened? Well, it's not in my how should I put it? I'm being nice. Crazies are everywhere. So if this is just a occurrence of some population who gets crazy and so on, that's one thing. You don't know the motives yet. Concerning is if, as according to the Russians, the authority, this guy said he was a reservist. The authorities did not intervene to stop. That's more concerning, that people having different thoughts and acting upon those thoughts. In a bad way in this case, aggressively. That's not the point. People can do that, but there should be a repercussion. Right? A punishment, or at least the authorities should try to stop it. I mean, people can hate how much they want. Once they act upon that, and they act aggressively, it is the duty of the state to intervene, regardless if that vehicle was Polish, Romanian, French, or Russian. So the concerning thing is if those guys were over there and they did not intervene. These guys reported it was something over there with the youth and so on. Well, we'll find out. Never. Why? Because the Russians will say it's like this, and the other guys will say no. Like they will do it whenever something happens, let's say in Gaza. And why are they settlers? You know why they're settlers, right? Because as they mentioned, they stay on occupied territory. So when these guys are telling the violation of 1961 Vienna Accords of diplomatic pak, these guys have problems with 1948 still. So, and after that with many others, United Nations resolutions, by the way, legal binding resolutions, like the one in 1970 something, 71, 72, I can remember, maybe not, about that one with 242 it's called, which means orders, United Nations orders Israel to back the fuck off from the Golan Heights and all that, and they didn't. Why? Who's going to enforce that? Who is going to enforce that? That's. But hey, in Ukraine, we have to enforce something that was not voted on. Double standard, triple, quadruple standard. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.